with a Fox News alert on a homegrown terror plot targeting U.S. troops. We're now learning new and disturbing details about the suspects who are now in custody. The two ex-convicts reportedly wanted to make headlines by launching a violent attack against a recruiting station in Seattle. Welcome to America Live. I'm Shannon Bremen today for Megan Kelly. According to investigators, Abu Khalid Abdul Latif, an alleged conspirator, detailed a machine gun and grenade attack on the military entrance processing station in Seattle. The men reportedly inspired by the Fort Hood attacks, one of them even picturing the horrific headline, saying, quote, they wanted to gun down everybody. And now we're getting reports this is the 8th attempted attack on a military base in the past 2 years. New York Congressman Peter King is the Republican chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee and joins us live. Congressman, thanks for your time today.
You're very welcome, Shannon. Thank you.
How concerned were you to hear about this latest plot in Seattle?
Actually, I was very concerned. I first became aware of it earlier in the week, and it was very deadly. Would have caused a large number of casualties. And as you mentioned, it targets the military. And this has become a pattern of either al-Qaeda or self-starting terrorists in this country, self-radicalized terrorists. The military, they feel, is an easy target. They go to recruiting stations. They go to areas where the security may not be that great. This was going to be a processing center, and they were going to use fragmentation grenades, automatic weapons. It would have been a deadly attack.
And apparently these two individuals who were allegedly involved in planning and carrying out this attack had talked about the fact that they were upset about U.S. operations in Afghanistan, also in Iraq and in Yemen. And so in their minds, by some accounts, they were, quote, justified in going after U.S. soldiers. How in the world do we combat that kind of reasoning?
Well, first of all, we have to accept certain realities here. For instance, Abdul Latif was converted to Islam in prison. And last week, I had a hearing on radicalization of Muslims in prison, and many of the Democrats on the committee attacked it, saying there's nothing to be that concerned about. There's many other threats that are equally as important. The fact is, al-Qaeda and homegrown terrorism is the main threat to the U.S. today. He was converted to Islam in prison. Whether or not the radicalization began then or in a post-prison process, we don't know. But he was radicalized in prison, and that's also a common denominator for a number of these threats and plots. So we have to address it. Looking at the prisons is one area. The other is getting more cooperation from within the Muslim community. I know in this case the FBI talks about how someone from the community came forward and volunteered. What they don't mention in their press release is that he was a 5-time felon and he's being paid for his information. So not exactly the public-spirited citizen coming forward.
But should we be happy to get the information any way that we can get it?
Absolutely. Any way we can get it is fine. But again, if we had more spontaneous support and assistance, it would be helpful. No, any way we get it, it's important to get it, but we get more if it came from people who didn't have to be paid off for it.
All right, Congressman Peter King, thank you for your time, sir.
Shannon, thank you.
All right, we're now hearing from the accused terrorist